All right, irrational zeros review. So first of all, I want to tell you what an irrational zero is again. So an irrational zero is an x-intercept. And it's real. See if I can write that out. So, an irrational zero is a real x-intercept. It's there on the graph. But you can only estimate it or approximate that irrational zero. So it's a number you don't know the exact value of, so you have to round and approximate it on a graph. All right. So I want to find the irrational and rational. I want to find all the zeros. So in this situation, I can factor it. So write this down. Press pause if you have to. And then you're thinking, and those that love your diamond, you can think this way. What are two numbers that multiply to 27 and add to 12? So that's 9 and 3, and both are negative. Be careful of the exponents. One's going to be, because it's x to the fourth, we're going to divide by 2. It's x squared minus 9 and x squared minus 3. Now, one of these is a difference of squares, where you can factor further. So x squared take away 9, if you square root, is x plus 3, x subtract 3. X squared take away 3, however, is not factorable. So on the side, we're going to take that part and we're going to solve it separately, making that factor equal to 0. So we're going to add 3 and we're going to square root. Now, whenever you solve a quadratic, the answer could be positive or it could be negative. So right now, I know my rational zeros. My rational zeros are the zeros, the x-intercepts I know the exact value of. So positive and negative 3, those are my rational zeros. I know exactly those values. My irrational zeros, those are the only ones. Those are real numbers, but you can only estimate it. So what is the square root of 3? So, it's between 1 and 2, but you'd have to round it, right? You don't know the exact value of it, and those are irrational. So those are all the zeros here. All right, one more, then you get to do your quiz. So the second question kind of looks like this. And so I want to find all the zeros here. So first thing I look at, it's not factorable. So take that last number. What are all the numbers that go into 5 evenly? Well, it's pretty short, right? It's nice. It's called a prime number, right? Only 1 and 5 go into evenly. And then the one shortcut I know, if you add up the coefficients, does it add up to 0? It does. So that means positive 1 works. So I'm going to use it. And then what I'm left with is x squared plus 4x minus 5. Now, on this one, can this one factor? I did. I created one that could factor. So all of these are rational. That's not the example I wanted to do. So let me just finish it. I'm going to do another one that isn't that way. So rational zeros, that's 1, negative 5, and positive 1 again. So positive 1 repeated twice, we don't need it. So there they are right there. All right, I'm going to do it again. How awful is that? So I have a magic calculator here. So I'm going to give me a moment, and I'm going to try another one. Oh my. You can fast forward. All right, here it is. One more. This one, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to do something with. So we have x cubed plus x squared minus 8x plus 6. All right, so I want to find all the zeros here. I'm going to create a list. So all the numbers that go into 6 evenly. We look at the coefficients. So 1, 1, negative 8, 6. It does add up to 0. I did that, so it would be nice. And then I'm left with x squared plus 2x minus 6. All right. So I know 1 is a 0. This is not factorable. So now what do? So you have two options. So one option is complete the square, and it's a good candidate to complete the square because the leading number is 1, and b is an even number. So it'd be easiest to do it that way. You could also do the quadratic formula. All right, so I'm going to complete the square. Take the b value, divide by 2, and square it to make a perfect square. So 2 divided by 2 squared, that's equal to 1. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. Now, when I look at the first 3, that trinomial, it's now a perfect square. So two numbers that multiply to 1 and add to 2, this factors. I'm going to add 7 to the other side, and then I'm going to solve it. I'm going to square root both sides. So I'm going to square root, the answer is positive and negative, and then subtract 1. All right, now we have something. So the rational 0 is 1. That's what I found at the beginning. The irrational zeros is -1 plus and minus root 7. That I can only estimate. I don't know the exact value of. All right, Mr. G, math, over and out. Good luck.